Welcome to this video about sensory interventions. Is there a need for a sensory intervention? It is common for many pupils with neurodiverse profiles to experience some sensory differences. If barriers to learning are identified as part of this profile, putting in place adaptive high-quality teaching strategies and reasonable adjustments will often suffice. However, for some pupils with more significant needs, a sensory circuit, which is part of an intentional sensory diet in the school, may be a helpful intervention. What is a sensory circuit? A sensory circuit provides a sequence of activities done repeatedly, and it should be active, physical, and fun. Participation in a short sensory circuit is a good way to energize and settle pupils into the school day and/or in advance of lessons later in the day. The aim is to develop the pupil's sensory processing skills and to focus their concentration. As an intervention, a half-termly or termly target should be set for the pupil. For example, to improve balance or to reduce calling out in class. Sensory circuits have three main sections. Firstly, the alerting section provides movement and balance stimulation. The organizing section requires the pupil to organize their body, plan their approach, and do more than one thing at a time in a sequential order. And the calming section ensures the pupil leaves the circuit and returns to their classroom calm, centered, and ready for the lessons ahead. Sensory diet program. Throughout the curriculum, for example PE, reasonable adjustments, for example movement breaks and the use of sensory rooms, and sometimes across other SEN interventions, it is possible to transfer and embed activities and techniques used within sensory circuits. This can be considered part of the pupil's wider program of sensory processing activities, sometimes known as their sensory diet. Movement activities that can be included in the sensory diet, such as rocking on a hobby horse or rocking chair, crawling on hands and knees, walking, running and climbing stairs, jumping, star jumps, hopping and hopscotch, riding a bike or scooter, dancing, wheelbarrow walks, cartwheels and somersaults, floor push-ups, wall push-ups and sit-ups, using swings, playground slides, using monkey bars, climbing ladders, jumping on a mini trampoline, using a skateboard, swimming, pushing a grocery cart, yoga exercises, rolling down a hill, and playing catch. Sight and hearing activities that can be included in a pupil sensory diet. Sight-focused includes looking at mobiles, lava lamps, bubble lamps, etc. Being in a safe space with minimal visual stimuli. Looking at photos and at picture books. Looking purposefully at aspects of nature, such as fish tanks. Watching short videos, for example cartoons and movies. Games and activities that develop visual skills, for example mazes, dot to dot, I Spy, and drawing. And hearing focused includes listening to music and talking about whether it's calm or alerting, banging on pots and pans, playing musical instruments, listening to sounds of nature outdoors, singing, humming, using a white noise machine, observing silence, and identifying and labeling sounds. Touch activities that can be included in a pupil sensory diet. This includes playing with dry, weighted sensory play materials such as rice, sand, and beans, therapy brushing, joint compressions, water play, deep pressure into the palms of the hands such as firm clapping or high fives, experimenting with wearing certain fabrics, exploring various textures of different items, log rolling, using finger paint, using foamy soap or shaving cream, patting a dog, cat, or other animal, mixing cookie dough and cake batter, climbing under sofa cushions, playing in a sandbox, using Play-Doh, putty and clay, helping with gardening, and playing with balls and stuffed toys that have a vibration function. Smell and taste activities that can be included in a pupil sensory diet. Experimenting with essential oils and scented candles, smelling flowers, sniffing spices and herbs. Blindfold smelling games to explore tastes such as sweet, salty, sour, spicy, bitter, etc. and exploring textures such as crunchy, creamy, chewy and lumpy. eating frozen and cool and warm foods, blowing bubbles, and sucking thick liquid through a straw. This is the end of this video. You can view more videos on this channel in the Bite Size series, including other bite-sized intervention videos.